share stories of LGBT individuals and our allies in order to build true community, one cocktail at a time.
Who uses a condom with oral sex?
Yay! Welcome back to Happy Hour. Celso and Liisa from G News have stuck with us a few episodes now.
There's free champagne, so.
Right, and lots of other things that we had earlier in the first segment with our game Never Have I Ever. So if you don't know why we're talking a little bit blearily, go back and watch that one.
Yes.
A little blearily. Did I say that right?
Blearily?
Not even
We're making up
sure.
words now.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
Yeah.
a
I say to
word.
you.
I have a master's in English, so if you don't understand what I'm saying,
Literally.
stay in school
Yes,
Or have
that's
a
good,
shot.
yes.
or have a shot.
Or
It
have a
might
shot.
help.
Cheers.
Cheers. So thank you for sticking with us.
Absolutely.
Having all kinds of fun. We're going to talk a little bit more seriously about something very important in our community right now, though.
Yes.
See, it is getting harder to talk. So, Saturn, you actually helped me think about this a lot. Things have changed a little bit in our community. We've been through the AIDS crisis.
Yeah.
Back when I came out in the early 80s, it was really a thing. People were dying of this gay cancer, this new thing that was just killing people, especially here in the Bay Area.
Grid. They called it grid then.
Grid,
Didn't
yes.
even know what it was.
Yeah.
Didn't know what it was. In New York, it was huge. In California, it was huge. Where I grew up in New Mexico, we were hearing about it, but it wasn't quite having as much of an impact. But it got there. It got there very quickly. Just recently, a study came out saying that Truvada, or PrEP,
Yep.
is actually preventing just about 100% of
100%.
92%.
No, it's 100 now.
Is it at 100?
It
It's
got
at 100. It's a new study. It's 100%.
100%.
647 people who were in the study in San Francisco. Nobody contracted the HIV virus.
That's
Wow.
incredible,
Yeah,
and those are the
100%.
highest risk people. People
Yes.
who are
Right.
still using needles as well as having high risk sex behavior.
Yes.
So amazing
Yes.
how far in our lifetimes, right? So how has that changed behavior though? Like in general, on the streets, people, what's changed?
Well, I don't think anything's changed yet because that study just came out. I don't think
Yes.
that's really blasted
Yeah.
across the to everybody, all the airwaves yet. And it's not an inoculation. It's a drug. It's not
Yes.
something you can just go. You know, we don't have the bubonic plague anymore because you went and you
Yeah,
get a shot. This is a treatment that you have to take
Every
constantly.
day.
Every day.
And if you
Yeah.
skip a treatment,
It's
you
not, it's
open
not
a
as
risk.
effective, right?
So it's I don't
you
think
have
we're
to
at
take
the
it
end
every
game
day.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
not a license to just go out and go have it because there are other STDs, there's other things you have to still think
Right.
about.
Well,
and this is not a cure-all.
It's not a cure-all, and I'll be honest. I'm on PrEP. I've been on PrEP for the last year because I was one of those people. Whenever I was having sex, I was very, very scared all the time. I mean, I grew up in the '90s. In the '90s, it was a thing. They preached safe sex. They put the fear of like God into you about HIV, which was a great
terrifying.
thing. It was a great thing. But lately, I've noticed a lot of young people, especially, they just weren't caring. They were being very, very unsafe in their sexual practices. So I think PrEP is a great thing because HIV rates have been on a rise lately, actually, because we haven't had that education and because you can live with it now.
Right.
There was a time you couldn't live with it. You died from it. So I've been on PrEP for a year, and what it's done for me is just taking that fear away.
And taking control of your
Yeah,
own life.
I'm
even
taking
at that.
control. I'm taking control
They're
of my own
not,
health.
that's-
Yes.
Not that it's fine.
But that doesn't mean
Exactly.
you still can't not use a condom.
Oh,
Because
I
there's-
use condoms too.
Because PrEP
yeah.
does not cover STDs,
Right, right.
pregnancy,
But-
things,
And some of the STDs are getting more vicious.
Yes.
Like there's a strain of
Exactly.
chlamydia or something that
Yes.
can like kill you.
Hep C,
something like that.
there's
Hepatitis.
the list is,
Well,
HPV gives you cancer.
Here's what I say.
Right.
I think no matter what, you have to be, smart about your sexual choices and be very aware. So I always leave it up to my partner whether we want to have safe sex or not. I'm very honest. I disclose my status. I say I'm on PrEP. It's up to you if you want to use condoms or not. And for people, there are a lot of people that actually, it's kind of like the ship has turned a little bit. They're actually discriminated against PrEP users because they're like, oh, you must have sex with everyone. It means you're carrying all these diseases.
Oh my goodness, I didn't see that coming.
Which
Oh my
is
goodness.
ridiculous
That totally
because
makes sense.
anything that you can catch without a condom, you can still get from oral sex. And who uses a condom with oral sex?
Nobody.
So it's kind of stupid.
But the thing that with PrEP, the other part is that it's a drug, so there's side effects like with any other drug. It's hard on your liver.
Oh,
is.
especially
When the-
if you're
In the
Oh.
My liver is already damaged the way I drink on this
and
show.
you're adding
Thanks,
something.
Cameron.
and you're
Oh,
adding
just
something
a
to
show.
it. The other thing is that it, like I said, it's not a shot. You have to keep taking it. So it's not an answer for everything. I think the implications of monogamous partners that are with somebody who's positive, and they're having monogamous sex, and they're on it, that makes a lot of sense. HIV, or drug users, if their wherewithal is to stay on that, in other areas of the world where it's just this huge problem. But then you still have to make sure that they're staying on it and taking
Yeah,
it and on a
yeah.
regular
It's
basis.
a
You can't
responsibility.
Like a
take it
birth control
Tuesday and
pill
then
every
Thursday.
single day.
Like in the study, they make a point of it. You have to take it every
day.
single
And you
day.
have to take it for at least a week before it even
Yeah.
builds up to the effectiveness.
But what's exciting is that it's here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that people are continuing to learn from this, because back in the day you had to take a calcium pill every day. Don't they have one now? You take one a month. So I just see a future that it's going to
It's
take
on the
care of
way.
all. Absolutely.
I do believe that a cure is on the way,
Yes.
and even with PrEP, they're actually doing a study with the shot where it can be a shot now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
See,
like the
exactly.
pill.
And
It's like the
possibly
pill. It's
be
like
like
going back
once
to the
a
70s with the
Yeah.
pill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a brand new,
It's-
it's a step in the right direction.
It's
Oh my
the
gosh.
thing. Let's
Yes.
go.
And
Let's
people
go.
aren't dying anymore. That's
Right.
the best thing about it.
Another side effect of PrEP that's positive is that it's taken away a lot of that stigma from people who are negative about having sex with HIV positive people, because for a long time you had a huge stigma. Like if you were HIV positive, and in a lot of places outside of San Francisco, this is still the case. If you're HIV
Yes.
positive, then it's like you have the plague. Nobody wants to
Right,
touch you.
right.
Nobody,
Yeah.
and it's causing people to lie, and it's causing a lot of other things to happen. So the more honest we can be, the more we can be upfront about our health, then the better
Yes.
it's going to be for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's a great point. And
That's
I
very
just
true.
keep thinking of Mr. Pam. We were talking about Mr. Pam, how she once says that condoms can be really sexy or
They
something.
can be, yes.
You know, you can work with it. Kind
It's
of
hot. You know? You
Different
gotta roll that
colors.
thing
Yeah, you know, it's
Yeah.
all good.
Big
But
black
Mr. Pam,
condoms.
oh my God.
We
They
do
come in
love
colors.
Mr. Pam. She's all sex positive and safe positive.
Yeah,
and-
she's like, what's the big deal? Just protect yourself.
I think it's
Right.
extremely important, though, if you're interested in it, to do your research, because if you're
Amen.
positive, you can't take it. You need to see a doctor. There's a whole cocktail of things that you've got to take if you're already positive. There's a way to go about it. So you have to get tested regularly while you're on it. If you have a break, you have to get tested again. There's all this information.
Yeah.
So
And it's
I
on the
think
CDC. I
yeah.
just put in PrEP and boom, it
Yeah.
opened up to the
I think
CDC.
it's fantastic.
Center
Yeah,
for
It is.
Disease
and in general,
Consider
I would recommend anybody who's considering it, consult your primary care physician first and make sure that you work with them
Yeah.
if you decide to do this therapy. I see my primary care physician all the time. So.
But I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't
Stay
you dating your
healthy.
friend? I'm just kidding.
Are you dating your doctor?
Well,
Is he hot?
35.
We don't want to push your button.
and I got a big cup. There you go. That's for you guys.
Nothing better than a doctor. So stay safe.
Stay safe.
No matter what your status, you can be sexy and hot and still live a full and complete and wonderful life, and that's the best thing about it.
Absolutely.
So,
Here's to sex.
Here's
just
the
like
sex.
totally went in different places. Here's to sex,
Yes.
healthy, happy, safe sex, and here's to another happy hour. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being
much
here.
fun.
We
Thank
love you
you.
guys so much.
Absolutely.
And cheers,
Cheers.
cheers, and cheers, and cheers to. Oh, see, now I'm doing it. Happy hour.